Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video answers segment, the part 2 for the Walking Dead Season 5 Q&A questions. Alright, great stuff. So thank you everyone for your participation with the great questions. If you guys missed part 1, it was released on Friday. Hope you guys had a good Easter weekend. You had some fun with the family, whatever the case may be. And pretty much we're going to be starting off the next section of the questions, answers. So I'm going to be answering these questions that were sent through from you guys a little while ago. If anyone has any additional questions, feel free to private message me them. Don't write them in the comments for this one. Private message me them, and I'll take them into consideration. If I continue, I've got about 50 to cover, so this will be number 6 we're starting with. So we'll see, and if I go through them throughout the summertime, there should be enough time to answer most questions people have for the most part, if they make sense. So the first question for this part is going to be, hey Trev, just read book 11 of the Walking Dead comic book series, Fear of the Hunters. Curious to know if you think Rick went too far, and would they do that in the series? I think he means TV series. Clone Matthew asked this question. So what I would say is, do I think he went too far? No, I don't think he went too far. Those of you guys who haven't read the books, I don't want to spoil it for you or anything, but he's referring to the very ending of the battle between the cannibals and Rick's group. I mean, you're dealing with cannibals. You're dealing with the type of characters that you can't really screw around with. And if you are to defeat them, if you beat them, so to speak, I don't really feel anything you do to them is going to be worse than what they were going to do to you, right? So I don't think that Rick went too far in the comic book series. And in the TV series, I think they'll do something similar, but not quite as dark. The show has gotten pretty dark, though, over the course of Season 4. More horror aspects, more things like that. Rick has become darker with the similarities between him and the governor, and I think we're going to see something, the whole biting thing at the end of Season 4, I think we're going to see something very similar to what we saw in the comic book series, and no, I don't think it is. When you're dealing with cannibals, I mean, what if you beat them, whatever, whatever fate, I mean, those type of people, it's pretty messed up. So I don't think he went too far to answer that question. Next question is, if Carl was to die in the show, how do you think he would die? That's a tough one. I don't think Carl's going to be killed off in the TV series. Definitely not. Chandler Riggs is aging pretty quickly as the seasons go by, and I think that in around season 10 to 15, they're definitely going to like having him because he could be a possible replacement as a protagonist for Rick if Andrew Lincoln doesn't want to do it anymore, or if they decide to kill him off to go a different direction from the comic books. Well, it depends. I mean, even the comic books, they might kill him off too. So I don't think he's going to die in the show, but if he was to die, I think it'd be from a stray shot or something, like being shot by a person. I don't think he would be killed by walkers, if that makes sense. Somewhat similar to some of the things that happened in the comic book series, or kind of like, early on when he was shot in Season 2, something like that, like somebody accidentally, or another group they're at war with or something, shooting him and killing him. I don't think it would be a walker that would get Carl, to tell you the truth. Next one is, that was from Joe Smith. Next one is from Frappe Gamer and SmashFactor. They asked, do you think Gareth will die this season? I don't think Gareth's going to make it out this season. I don't think he's the type of villain that we're going to have that much concentration on compared to the governor because of what he does. He's not somebody you can get that much invested in from his point of view. Sometimes you see things from someone else's perspective and it's kind of like, okay, I can understand why they became the way they did. But with Gareth and the Hunters in Terminus, I don't think they're going to want to focus on them that much. I've kind of talked about this in other videos because, that's dark to see people, resort to cannibalism and, go down that route. So I don't know how much they're going to want to show of that. So I don't know how long they're going to keep him around for. It probably won't be very long. Season 5, yeah, I think he's going to die for sure. Next question is, there's talk of Rick and Michonne getting together in Season 5. What are your thoughts? This is from Chandra, hency. It's got to be a girl, of course. It's so funny to see the questions between guys and girls. Girls are like, who's going to fall in love? Who's Daryl? They make up nicknames too. Bethel or Dareth and all this crap, and it's like I can tell when it's a question from a girl, and I can tell when it's a question from a guy. Guys are like, is Rick gonna hold them down and cut their hands off and cut each part of their body off, and then the females is like, who's gonna fall in love? That's what it is with the questions. So there's talk. There's been talk of this for a while. I actually did a video on this early season 4, giving my thoughts on the possibility of them being in a relationship. I've talked about it a couple times. I would love to see that if they were to go ahead and do that, because Rick, of course, was with Lori before, and Lori's not a great partner. Let's be honest here. She's whiny, she's bitchy. Even when Dale, is trying to protect her, she's, yes, Mom. She's bitchy. She's just, Lori's brutal. So Rick deserves somebody like Michonne that can take care. Like, Michonne can actually take care of him. She can protect him. Like, he can just walk around and she can go up and start, cutting walkers' heads off. Versus the opposite, if he was alone with Lori, they were just out there with Carl and the baby or whatever. He's gonna have to do all the work. She's not gonna, what is she gonna do? She's gonna take care of the baby. Aside from that, Michonne is a badass partner to have with you, because she's going to take care of everything. You can just go chill, and she'll just go out there and, and quickly, just about as quickly as you could, use her samurai skills and just clear the field. So, yeah, I think that definitely she's a worthy partner for Rick. I think it would make sense. I think it would be a great relationship for them to set up. I feel like they've kind of been starting it in season 4, with the whole her and Carl thing. And it'd be good, too, because Rick, of course, has the baby. She lost hers. And, Carl's there. They have a great relationship. She can be like a replacement mom. And I think she'd be, if Rick was in a coma or something, I think she'd be faithful. Rick's in a coma. Not only that, but she'd go in there and she'd take her, she'd take her with him. Even if he died, she'd do the whole, pet thing. And Michonne's cool. Michonne is cool. So those are kind of my thoughts on that. Yeah, I think that would be great if they went that direction. Michonne's my favorite female character in the series, so definitely would be good. Next question is, Trev, how do you think Daryl will get his crossbow back, or if he even will? Well, after they kill, this is from Matthew Velios, after they somehow escape, we have the storyline with Terminus, which will probably last half the season, or at least 3 or 4 episodes. And then they get back at him and they kill them off. Daryl could even switch to the bow that he took from Len. You guys remember that Len's bow is buried with Rick's stuff, right, or out there, because Daryl didn't bring it in with him. So he'll probably switch for the time being to that. And then I would think, or just a gun or whatever the case may be. And then he'll probably get it back. The thing was getting worn anyway. He's going to have to find a replacement sooner or later. We saw the arrows breaking and stuff. He's going to have to switch sooner or later. Plus, people are going to get tired of seeing the crossbow. So I personally think that a regular bow and arrow would be a cool switch for him. Screw the crossbow. He'll probably get it back and he'll probably switch. But I personally would like to see some change. He's had the crossbow for a real long time. It's kind of like his trademark now. I know. But I think it'd be cool if they switch up. Because characters in The Walking Dead, they shouldn't just be able to use one weapon all the way through. It'd get boring over the seasons. Like Michonne's got her katana sword. Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of her thing. Daryl's got his crossbow. Yeah, but I feel like Daryl can use other things too. Grenades, killing walkers with trunks, of cars, all kinds of stuff, knives and stuff. He could switch, man. It'd be cool to see him switch up a little bit. He can still use a crossbow sometimes, but I'd like to see him switch up a little bit. Just my opinion, though. Because, you don't want people to get tired after 5 seasons of crossbow. How many times do you want to see him go, two? We've seen it for 3 seasons. I still enjoy it. But what I'm saying is that it'd be cool to see a little bit of a switch, here and there. It's not a bad thing. So, so that's my answer to that one, Matt. Next one is, Trev, I have a question. Are you playing the Walking Dead video game? And if you are, what do you think about Season 2 so far? And this is from Dia4568. I'm not playing the video game. I've talked about this before. I've tried 3 or 4 times. It's not that I don't want to experience the story. I like the story. The problem is, number one, time, because I have to make so many. I set myself up to make about 10 videos a week on YouTube. Plus I have my job. Plus I have adult things to do now with the house and all that. And, I have to enjoy myself a little bit too. The Walking Dead video game is so time consuming. Each episode, takes a while, and to play through it. And for me personally, you know, I kind of want to know the story, which I check the wiki sometimes because I think the story is fantastic. But to play it out with those, you know, like the quick time events and that kind of thing, it's just not my cup of tea. I don't have the kind of time for it. And even though I'd like to play it, like if I got fired or something from my job, that could be something I could look at, just playing it, posting videos on it, and I'm sure it would do fine. But you know, it's just something that I don't enjoy that much because of the kind of slow delivery of the story, and I get stuck at parts where I'll aimlessly walk around and try to figure out who I'm supposed to talk to or what I'm supposed to do for like half an hour, 20 minutes sometimes. I know that happens to basically everybody, but you know, it drives me nuts when I get stuck in an adventure game for like more than like 10 minutes and I can't figure out what I'm supposed to do, or I'm missing something and I have to go look for it. It's like, oh, this is too much work. this is not fun. This is too much work and me walking around looking for stuff. I just don't enjoy this. Forget this. So yeah, so that's that. So we're up to question number 12 now. I think I'll call it here for this video because, like I said, about 10 minutes. I said in the first one, it's about good. So I'll split it up, do another one, part 3, and post that when that one's finished, maybe in a few days to a week's time. Let me know what you guys think about the Q&A videos and what you think about these questions. Feel free to post your answers to them, what you think about these. Start up the discussion, whatever you think. And PM me other ones, like I said before. PM me any questions you have. Don't write them in the comments because I probably won't see them because I'll be working on other stuff. So that's just how it is. So anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you for part 3 in a few. Call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, saying peace as always.